going to cover this sustainability workshop. Let me get it started with our Senior Director of Environmental Sustainability, Mr. Kevin Butt. Kevin.
Thank you. I want to thank you for being here and allowing me. Everybody's always excited about the vehicles. I get to tell you about some of the other cool stuff, right? There's always, you know, as we make these vehicles, as we think about model changes, what the long-term impacts are, and what our targets are, you know, this is a part of the process. We've committed to carbon neutrality across the board. So it's not just what you see out here, it's how we make that car, it's how we do things, right? And there's a large impact for that and what those impacts are. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Oh, there's me.
Is that the same jacket?
No, there's a print in this one. Thank you. I did have to rent that. You know, this is the only one that I own. So thanks, Scott, for that. So I want to talk to you a little bit today about what our progress is towards sustainability outside of what's going on in the vehicles. We have started for a number of years. We operate on what's called our 5-year environmental action plan. So every 5 years, we come up with new targets, new direction in order to help us achieve those targets that we've set publicly and what we're doing. So that is, we're getting ready now for our 8th environmental action plan. What's really sad about all this is I've been around for almost all of those. That just tells you how old this guy is here. But the good news is we're consistently moving forward. But a little background to this, though, is, you know, Toyota believes that there is climate change. You know, Toyota believes that not only is there climate change, but we're part of the problem. And therefore, we have to be part of the solution. And we're doing that through a number of great things. You know, we look at our models out here and the portfolio of options that we have, the different drivetrains and electrification that's moving in to all of our vehicles. So that's great, but now we also need to worry about all those other things that we do as we build these cars. Our position basically on climate change is, you know, we agree with the Paris Agreement, right? We're pretty convinced that's the right thing to do. So we're working on trying to achieve the 1.5 degrees Celsius agreement, and that's where we're heading. And in order to support that, we've signed up for SBTI, and that's the Science Based Targets Initiative. That initiative is, a lot of companies are moving in that direction, but you can see here that includes not only Scope 1, Scope 2 emissions, but Scope 3 emissions as well. And let me just back up just a second. When you think about Scope 3 emissions, that's our entire supply chain, right? Where we get our parts, how we build our cars. So we have, in order for us to meet our targets of carbon neutrality, all of our suppliers have to be carbon neutral as well. So think about that, and you think about all the suppliers across the auto industry, as every automaker has made some type of pledge to be carbon neutral. That's a huge impact on how we do business. It's a huge impact on the mom and pop shops that are out there, let alone some of the bigger organization suppliers. They've got a little better handle, but man, this is going to be tough. I mean, it's going to be hard to do, but we're working in that direction. We've set targets for our suppliers. We're currently mandating that our suppliers reduce their emissions of CO2 3% per year over time. I'm not the sharpest math guy in the world, but you add all that up, that means by 2050, they too would be carbon neutral as that compounds. So you see here under the science-based targets, under Scope 1 and 2, we're going to have a 68% reduction. That's not offsetting, we're not buying trees in the Amazon and saying, oh, we're doing great things there. Not a believer in that, right? So we're going to do this the right way and get that done. We're also going to have a 33.3% reduction in Scope 3 use of sold vehicles, passengers, light commercial vehicles by 2030. So what does that really mean? That means for all the parts, everything that's embedded carbon with inside the cars that you see out here, we're going to reduce the carbon content by 33%. So when you do that, you're automatically reducing the supply chain and having a greater effect on reduction of carbon across the whole auto industry. That's a big one. And we're also, used to sold vehicles, medium, heavy, we're going to have 11.6% reduction there. So that's another good thing. This is all just a start to get there, right? Even though we've been working at sustainability at Toyota for a long time, the public and everybody's gotten, wow, what are you guys doing? Our consumers are interested in what we're doing. The other people that are interested in this is our investors. I probably have more conversations with investors than I've had in a long time about what we're doing. And policymakers. Last thing I want to do is talk about politics today. So I'm not, although it's very entertaining. I started talking about it, I'm going to stop right now. That's also very intriguing. New rules, new regulations are coming out. If you follow any of this on the site, the SEC proposed potential guidelines for controlling and reporting all of these emissions. Well, they backed off of that. But California is issuing a set of regulations out there, two different sets of regulations. Europe is ahead of us in this game. They have something called CSRD, which is a rule that talks about all the reporting that has to be done for each of the vehicles that are sold, right? And so we sell vehicles to Europe. We export. So we have to comply to all those regulations as well. It's an ongoing process of being held accountable. And to me, there's nothing wrong with being held accountable, right? Good data. Here's the way it is. This is how we are progressing. I think for a long time we've had a lot of people that have made a lot of targets, made them public, made big press releases, all the good stuff we're going to do. I'm pretty happy that we're all going to be held accountable, right? You can't just make these bold statements without some meat and potatoes in there with it. So that's what we're about here at Toyota, and that's the direction we're moving.